Alright, so this is a video for those who are completely new to this channel. My name is Shayan and I'm also known as Shazy on multiple of these social media platforms like Instagram, but majorly on Twitter or on YouTube I'm known as Shayan. And this is a complete video on how I basically started my crypto journey or how I basically started making money. I've been hustling from when I was literally 14 years old, and right now I'm 19 and I have made enough money to retire my family. Anyways, English is not my native language and I don't really have enough fluency in English as well. Also, I literally have a very bad accent in English, but I want to make content in English so people from all around the world can basically just understand what I'm saying. It doesn't really matter if the accent is good, that is what I think, but I still know the racial comments that I'll get on this video. Anyways, let's start with this video. So I basically started from the age of 14 and I don't know if it is a coincidence or if it was just like designed for me to be in it, but I started from crypto, like literally. This was literally the first thing I really did. Anyways, I literally started from crypto because my big brother and my father were into crypto, but they were into crypto the same year that I got into the crypto. And basically, they saw a video of an Indian guy saying that Shiba Inu can literally like go to $1, which is literally impossible, right? So, anyways, this was actually a very pretty famous myth, and this literally got many people into crypto as well. And then when they understood FDV, market cap, and liquidity, they literally cursed those people. Anyways, my father did bought Shiba Inu and he lost a lot of money on it, but fortunately he also got into NFTs at that very time, and he made a lot of money from NFTs even though he didn't really knew what he was really doing. He eventually got scammed from NFTs, basically got hacked by these phishing wallets as well. But I sort of got that interest and I saw that there is literally an opportunity which requires no authentication, no age, no degree, no nothing, and I can make money off of it as well. And it was something which I really enjoyed, and that was making NFTs, like literally. So me and my little sister, basically, she's a very good artist. So I just basically gave her the computer and I said her to make me some pixel art punks, which I'll attach in this video. There were some very weird looking pixel art punks, but I named them like Smoker Dudes. Then I launched a collection called BAPS, Bored Ape Punk Smokers, like this. So because I watched a video where a guy was saying to launch an NFT collection on a specific niche. So it is targeting some kind of people, right? So I thought that it might target these smoker peoples, but literally people from any age were buying that, and they were not really smokers as well. So it didn't really ended up well. But what I really used to do to get my NFT collection to literally make me money was that I set it up an auto clicker, and then first I literally discovered how these blockchains work and all, because I literally lost a lot of money because of these whole system. My father gave me a trust wallet which was literally, you can say, some of his extra money, or literally some, like, he didn't really know that there was money in it, but there were like $80 in it as well. And when I discovered CryptoPunks or Bored Apes, and I think there was another collection called the Clone X as well. So what I really did was that when I first discovered all of it, I ended up deploying NFT on blockchain, but I wanted to deploy it on Polygon because of the low gas fees, but I ended up sort of bridging my Ethereum to Polygon to deploy a NFT on Polygon. So it basically just charged me like $50 for all that. And with time, I actually certainly, recognized how this blockchain works and all. Like I literally got like the 1% information of blockchain and how this whole wallet and how you have to set up these different chains on MetaMask, because at the time the only famous wallet was MetaMask, and before that it was Trust Wallet, right? Anyways, after setting up the wallet and after like having only $30 in fund, I ended up investing into few of these NFTs. I still remember that guy making some weird punks, and then there was like Banksy canned punks, something like that, which was, inspired from that Banksy can art. So I ended up investing into those NFTs, and I don't know how, but it literally made me a lot of money. Like it made me like 200 to $300, and then didn't really knew what to do with it because I was just like 14, or I think 14 and a half, and I had like $200-300, and my father was pretty impressed from me as well because he also didn't really knew what was happening. So anyways, I transferred like $150 to basically my father's Binance account, and he basically just sold all of that to through the P2P system or whatever you want to call it, because I never really used Binance a lot, or never really used a centralized exchange. I You can say that I was deployed literally on this DeFi sector or category, or because NFTs, meme coins, they all operate on DeFi. Anyways, coming back to the topic, so then I literally gave my whole family a complete party for $150, which is a pretty big party in my country as well. Anyways, now I have shifted countries because of few of my personal reasons, and that is the major reason that there is actually an upload time difference. So sometimes my old followers will have to face that as well. Anyways, then after giving the party, I actually again tried making the same punks, and then I again set it up an auto clickers because I didn't really knew that there are website and there is a whole procedure because you have to code and then deploy so they can have a separate token ID as well, and it will probably cost you way lesser. But I ended up setting an auto clicker because I used to play a game called I think that game name was like Modern Warfare. It was some game loft game, right? And here I actually discovered a glitch to make me coins using an auto clicker. So I knew how to use an auto clicker, right? So I set it up an auto clicker whose basic work was just to deploy these pictures that I've created onto the blockchain, you can say. And it was ERC1155. It was not ERC721 or 720, which have the separate unique IDs. It literally was deployed on blockchain as some kind of trash, you can say. But what I really used to do was to join these Facebook NFT groups because NFTs were at peak at the moment. I started when like Bored Ape was like I think it was like 10 or 11 ETH, and then I remembered it running up to like 100 ETH and 110 ETH when Justin Bieber, Post Malone, and all of these people. I even think Stephen Curry and all of these people got involved into NFTs. Coming back to the topic, after I basically deployed my whole collection of NFTs, I even didn't really deployed all of those NFTs that I created. I just used to create it with time and just used to, you can say, just drop them individually, you can say. But I ended up deploying like 1000 NFTs using an auto clicker, and I think it took him like 1.5 days. Literally had a broken ass laptop which I still have, and the funny thing is I still work on that same laptop, and that laptop has probably made me more money than my $6,000 gaming PC. And what I basically realized was that it was not gaining any attention. So what I used to do was to go in onto these Discord groups or onto these Facebook groups, and to basically set up some very tiny amounts of giveaways, and then I would have asked like these Pakistani and Indian people to react and to repost those tweets using a VPN of a US country. So their location was then recognized as some guy from US. So they were basically reposting that content that I was posting on Twitter. They were basically interacting with the content that I'm posting on Discord, and basically I never really used Telegram at that time, but Discord and Twitter and basically these websites, that's it. And they used to interact with those, and then what would have happened was that I was literally like spamming onto these Discord groups till I got like literally banned from all of these. Coming back to the topic, it literally ended up getting me a lot of sales. Like I remember the first 3 or 4 days of me constantly spamming on these Discord groups made me like $500 to $600 in literally 2 days, which was a very very big deal because I deployed like one collection and I like already have like $500 to $600, right? So then I also discovered that like that collection was, you can say, getting old, but people were making money from my collection as well. I think it had like the whole volume was like 4 Ethereum or something like that. And then there were people selling my created art or my sister's created art, which I deployed on my basically on blockchain. It was my ideas and her art, you can say. And basically then they would like buy and then sell, and then I was like kind of like upset because these people were literally buying an NFT from me for $20 and they were selling it for 200. Like it literally got to a point where my NFTs, like some of my NFTs, like out of 5,000, only 5 or 6 of my NFTs got sold for almost $1,000, like $200, like $400. And so anyways, uh, and when I realized that there was actually a whole new meta or new narrative going on within these NFTs, that people were basically deploying NFTs on Polygon network on Matic, and what they really were doing was just listing those NFTs for like 0.002 and something like that, like 0.02 or like one Matic, which was I think, which was like at its all time high, it was like, well, I don't really remember. I think it was like $2 or so. So what I really did was I pretty much did the same thing, but now instead of deploying, because I now had the base traits of that NFT, and there were like creating tools also being developed. So I got access to those tools for literally free, and basically I deployed. I ended up making a collection like how it is supposed to be made by coding and all. I didn't really code, but I used a website for that, and I paid that website a bit of money, and it literally deployed a collection of 10,000 punks for me. And that was a very professionally made collection because it had its own Twitter. I even ended up making literally, it was such a cool website, such a aesthetically organized website, and like it like I think the name was like BAPS, Board Ape Punk Smokers. The previous collection was then named Board Ape Punk Smokers Founder Edition, and now the new collection was known as Board Ape Punk Smokers. And then I did the same thing. I literally paid some people like $2 to $3, and then they basically just shelled it all over Discord. I literally would have waken up to like one day full, and then the only thing I would have done is literally sitting on my laptop just completely spamming these Discord groups. That's all. And somehow I think that the art has to be good because people are buying it, right? So the art was good. I will actually put some pictures on this video as well. And then I think I made like $4,000 off of one collection, and it was a very big deal because $4,000 in my country is like $40,000 in US. So it is a very big deal for a guy who is only like, I think I was like 15 years old at the time. And this was a time when Bored Apes literally topped like 100 ETH. Justin Bieber, Post Malone, like they were literally topping. Twitter introduced this new feature where you can basically set up a NFT on your profile pic, and it will actually authenticate that NFT that it is actually owned by you. Anyways, then I actually made a like ton of money, and but I eventually lost it all. I lost all of that, and I was never really sad because I didn't really knew the worth of $4,000. My father didn't really recognize that I made $4,000 because the whole setup was my whole setup was now completely different. My wallet and everything was different, and I was just like discovering these new things on internet and on blockchain. and I ended up losing $4,000. I would have sometimes like sent $100 to $200 weekly to just basically eat food. That's it. And you can buy a lot of food for $100 to $200 in my country, by the way. And like it is considered a very sarcastic amount for food. Like I did some very wasteful things, and like if I look back, I was like these were literally dumb decisions because of the dumb money I made. For me, at least it was. Anyways, after I basically lost all of my money or almost all of my money, I transferred like I think $700 or $600 to my father's Binance wallet, and that was my final amount. And then I started trading over there. Basically, I traded SHIB over there basically, and these coins. And I used to just, because sometimes on Binance when there is actually some volatility in the market, I used to trade those volatile actions, because that is where when you make a lot of money in short amount of time, you can say. So I like on 300 or $400 I would have made like $10-20 a day, and it ended up continuing for like I think a month. When March came in or April came in, I don't really remember, but March or April came in, and I again had like $900. And like this was literally such a dumb decision that I took, and I invested all of that money into SHIB, the Shiba Inu coin. And I think I invested it at its peak. I'm talking about the last bull run, you can say, or the last volatile action, you can say. And this is when I was like 17. Now I will get back when the main, like how I ended up making 600 $800. I ended up losing it all, and then I actually eventually ended up making another 600 $800, and then I lost it all again. So I have technically lost over 15 to $20,000 in crypto, or in discovering these new things. So basically I bought, and then it just started dipping, and my father just said that just leave it here and go ahead and start new work or do something else. And now coming back to the topic, at this time I was like 17 years old, but before that I actually started few business. Like I started a sneaker reselling page, and at that time there was no sneaker reselling page on my in my country where I used to sell these hyped sneakers. I literally sold a sneaker for almost $2,000, which is considered to be a very big amount for a used sneaker to be sold. It was like the LV Kanye West collab, and like I still have some shoes, but I usually just wear fake Jordans and all, because I don't really get the point of buying these original Jordans. These are literally like something only show offs do. Like I literally have it on my table as a decoration piece. So I ended up doing some sneaker reselling, and then there is actually a downfall to every trend, or a downfall to every uptrend. So these things just literally got into downfall, and I was never really consistent, to be very honest, and I'm still not consistent. I technically just left my focus off of this business, and then I basically started selling diecast, these Hot Wheels and these collectibles. I sold some watches like these. I still have this very cool looking watch. This is a Swatch watch. Basically I started selling collectibles, and I didn't, like, I ended up making a lot of money off of it, but I ended up reinvesting into the business. And when the overall came at the end, when I was about to transition my focus towards the other things that I was doing, I ended up realizing that I actually made a big loss. I didn't really ended up making a lot of profit off of this business, but still it was like $1,500 for a year's work. And then I invested all of that into crypto, and then I basically lost it all on Shiba Inu. Anyways, within this time, I eventually, just like grabbed, I think $20, and then I saw some video of a guy. It was a Russian guy saying how these meme coins literally turned people to millionaires, and he was talking about ETH chain. He was not really talking about Solana's chain or these other chains, because at that time Solana was not really popular. So then I actually ended up going and seeing how these coins are performing. I saw Pepe coin, and then I saw another coin called the Wojak coin on ETH. And those who are actually from that time, they do remember that these coins were like launched on, I think, the same time. Then there was actually a guy, I don't know, his name was Ben Armstrong or something like that. He also launched a meme coin. And then there was this PSYOP coin, I guess. No, yeah, there was this PSYOP coin who was then promoted by Andrew Tate, but this was like later on. I'm talking way before. I ended up investing like $100 into Pepe coin, and I ended up investing it using this centralized exchange because I didn't really knew how to use these decentralized exchanges. I knew how to use these wallets, but I didn't really knew how to use these decentralized exchanges. By the way, also I also lost money on a Solana NFT collection which was listed on Magic Eden, and the name was like these connoisseur apes. I still have the picture, and they were very cool looking apes. I bought it from for like one soul, and I ended up losing all of my money because the project literally rugged on Magic Eden. It literally used to happen that they used to like completely leave the project, and it was, by the way, launched by some Indians as well. Anyways, I ended up losing money on that as well. So I basically bought like $100 worth of Pepe on an exchange called Polynex. It was something like that because I didn't really knew how to use these decentralized exchanges. So I bought it on Polynex, and I was late, by the way. I saw Pepe earlier, and I didn't really knew how these market cap or FDVs or how liquidity or how the supply and how the total and circulating supply usually works and how these metas or narratives. I didn't really even knew what Pepe the Frog was even about. That it is a famous artwork. It is a famous. I didn't really knew about all of that. Anyways, I saw that it is just pumping. It is just giving insane pump. So I bought it on Polynex exchange. But there is something with me that, as I said, that I was never really consistent that much. So I ended up selling all of that Pepe for like $110, I think. And if I would have just hold my holdings for 1 week, that would have been like $7,000 to $8,000, I think, if I'm not wrong. But I ended up selling it, and then I ended up just basically bullshitting on these other coins, and like I pretty much lost that money as well. Then I went on KuCoin and did the same thing. Like I was tracking these coins which are performing with volatility because I always liked volatility. And basically, I used to buy into these coins, and then it was like completely finished, right? Like I never really knew what rug was and all that. So coming back to, you can say, I think it was like 2024 October or November. I ended up discovering Solana meme coins because I ended up going on Deck Screener, and I went there because just to watch how these ETH coins are performing. But I ended up just sort of discovering. I was like clicking on these other chains. There was like Solana as well on there. So I ended up discovering Solana's chain, and then I remembered that there were few coins that were basically uh, became like the billion dollar thing, and that was like Dog with Hat, Bonk, and this Boom coin, book of meme coins. Then I basically ended up in like kind of investing into these coins as well on a centralized exchange. To be honest, I've been always against the centralized exchanges because they always asked for KYC and all, and that is something which I couldn't really provide because I didn't really have an ID card. So I used to trade it on my father's account, and like it was something which I didn't really like. Anyways, coming back to the topic, like I never really liked centralized exchanges and all that. We will actually make a complete video on why I never really liked these centralized exchanges and why I think that they are not a part of this crypto or this decentralized ecosystem, you can say. Anyways, so basically I ended up investing some money into bonk, but like I liked volatility. I didn't like slow moving coins, or I didn't like slow money. I always wanted a shortcut to make money, and that is something which I never really discovered unless I finished my habit of basically just finding shortcuts for making money. So then I basically transferred like $20 onto my Phantom wallet, because there was this coin called the Mew coin, MEW, and it is still active today. And by the time when I saw that coin, I didn't really knew about this honeypots and all, and how like you can literally invest into a coin and then you can't really get money back, and your wallet will literally show like you have made like 20-30 thousand dollars, but you basically just can't take out that money. I'm talking about honeypots. So but I discovered the real thing, because I have watched it back again and again, and I still remember it was like 6 a.m. and by the time I have actually I like actually shifted countries, so it was like 6 a.m. in the morning, and it was like very very early. I watched a movie. I think it was like some horror movie, and I think it was Nun or something like that. Very old movie, but it was horror movie. So I ended up opening my laptop trying to find these new opportunities, because I always have my laptop on my side, and I whenever I'm free, I don't really go ahead and scroll on Instagram or TikTok. I just open my laptop, watch YouTube, or basically sometimes just watch these movies. Like I literally don't really watch movies, but I basically just go ahead and start finding these new podcasts and interviews and how these people are discovering new money making opportunities. So then I actually saw this Mew coin popping up like insanely, like it was like 12,000% in 24 hours, and that coin was right there at $1.2 million. So I was like, it is moving the same. Like I knew that it could have been a shorter, because it is just moving with so much fast pace. And I tried to invest like $15 onto that coin as well, but and I knew how to swap and all of that, but it was not getting swapped because of the volatility that coin was facing. Like by just me viewing that coin for literally 5 minutes, that coin was like pumping, dumping, pumping, dumping, and at that time Phantom's slippage was like 5%, and I didn't really knew anything about slippage and how to adjust that and all. So when I wake up, like I slept 6 a.m. in the morning, and when I wake up after like I think 10 hours or like 8 hours, I was like having this sort of curiosity of what really would have happened, and that coin was at 400 million. And then I calculated like how much I would have made, because I didn't really knew at the market cap, and also I calculated the price, and I would have made bonkers money off of it, off of that coin. So but I didn't really made money off of Bitcoin. So I ended up discovering this whole ecosystem, this whole meme coins, DeFi, Solana, and all. And at this time, we really had only had like three coins: Bomb, Bonk, and Dog, which were like billion-dollar coins. And then there was this Mew coin, and then I think Popcat and all, some of these like coins. So then I basically I discovered how to basically like why my trade is not executing, and then I discovered bonk bot, because it was, I think, the only bot in existence at the moment. Then I used Telegram. I never really used Telegram, to be very honest, but I then ended up using Telegram for that. And then I got to know how to work these things out, but I still didn't really used to take trades on Telegram, because then I knew that if I just adjust the slippage, I can pretty much take trades on Phantom as well. Sometimes it would never really execute if I was trading these very volatile coins. I used to go on to these new created pairs, 5 minute trending, like all of that. Anyways, I started discovering like more of this ecosystem, and then when I finally understood what was really happening, I ended up discovering some airdrops as well, which ended up making me money. And then I used to invest and lose I wouldn't really say invest, I would just say like I used to gamble money on these meme coins, and I would like literally lose all of that money. But then I ended up discovering this Banters coin, which was called Jelly, and then there was another coin which they launched before Jelly coin. And I ended up making content on Instagram. I don't know why I ended up making content. I never really like understand what Instagram is or what TikTok is, because I never really used that. But since my shoe reselling page and all of that was on Instagram, so like I thought that if I end up making a video and just posting it I ended up posting it on Facebook, by the way, but then I also posted it on Instagram. And then there was actually this grass airdrop going on. I ended up posting some content on that, and then it gained like 1500 2000 views, and I was like I literally got 1500 2000 views out of off of nothing. Then I posted this meme coin video, which ended up I actually posted this drip NFT video, this drip website launched, which was launched, and that like ended up getting me like 200k views or so. And then I launched then I uploaded, why am I saying launched, then I uploaded this meme coin video where I said that this guy converted $400 to over $400,000 in just one day. And then I started receiving a lot of hate on that video, but I ended up discovering, because I never really knew how this whole algorithm works. I'm pretty sure that if I didn't ended up archiving that video for like 2 days, and then if I didn't ended up restricting the comments, that video would have probably gone towards a million, because at that time no one from US or no one from uh, even these countries were making short format videos on meme coins. So I ended up uploading that meme coin video, and it ended up gaining me like 200k views in just one day, and there were like so many comments. It was like I thought that it is my responsibility to reply to every comment. I never really knew that there are like these haters as well. So anyways, I ended up continuing with my airdrop videos. They went well as well. I ended up posting some alphas, like how to track these wallets, and at that time nobody really knew how to track wallets, at least in my country or in the native language I made, which was Urdu and Hindi. So nobody really knew. So it ended up gaining some attention, and it ended up getting me some views. And basically then January came in, and then just made two videos on the top of my head. Like I just opened my phone and made two videos, and both of those videos, like right now, they have 500k views each. And then I ended up getting like 32k followers on Instagram. And then like I never really made videos which were to satisfy the audience. I just made videos to document and to develop a digital footprint. That's it. Like I'm being pretty honest over here, because I knew that this crypto thing or this all thing, I never really want to sell a signal group, I never really want to sell a course. So I will pretty much make no money off of making videos as well. Like I think I've made like only $100 off of YouTube monetization, so which is like nothing, right? So I knew that I would never really make money off of that. So, but I just, just to establish a digital footprint, I did that. I ended up getting some sponsorships, and there was this sponsorship which I declined, and they were offering me like $6,000 for a meme coin promo. I didn't did that, but I saw some of the KOs that I followed, and they were these KOs that were making in the same language that I'm making. They were not from my country, I would say, and they were promoting the same coin, and people were saying nothing to them. And after making that video, they were like continuing with their life, continuing with their posts like they used to. So I ended up regretting that decision. But then I actually saw this video from the Hell's Kitchen, the Gordon Ramsay, uh, I think it was a cooking show or whatever. So here that there was this woman who was asking butter from their colleagues, and the like one woman out there declined to give her the butter, whereas a man gave her the butter and said that if she wins, it is completely okay. At least I will wake up tomorrow, end up looking my face in the mirror, and I will say that I'm a good man. So that video really touched my heart, and then I said that I would never really do something which is like this. I ended up uploading the content I used to upload, and then as I said, that it ended up getting a lot of views. But still to this very day, I've never really made money off of my community, or I've never really promoted or shilled any meme coin to my community. I do shill calls, I do shill multiple coins on Twitter, but it is not something which my community takes is at a financial advice. And even if it take ends up taking as a financial advice, you can say, it doesn't really affect the price that much. And most of you people watching it will know that most of the people who are from these countries, like I am from this country, for us even $100 was a big thing. Like at least for me it was, for them it is. So it is nothing to flex. I still hope and I'm making sure that my people make money with me as well. I know that there are some people who make these racial slurs and all for Indians and for Pakistanis and for these kind of people, but these people are very good from heart as well, and not every guy is a scammer. So I still, the only reason that I use this mask is just to hide my identity. I just want to establish a digital footprint. I don't really want to show my face and all, because I think that it is something, like if I'm like I cannot go out safely, then it is something just I'm very paranoid of, you can say. Anyways, coming back to the topic, then I basically made content, and then I got like a lot of views on that content as well. Then I ended up creating a YouTube channel. There I uploaded these meme coin videos. At that time, no one in the language Hindi and Urdu were making meme coin videos, at least detailed or short form meme coin videos on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok. I was the only one. Then I think after like 2 to 3 weeks of me uploading that video, people started recognizing meme coins, and then this meme coins category became the biggest thing on earth right now. Basically, that was the golden opportunity for me, because I was early into meme coins, or sort of early into meme coins. I wouldn't say that I was completely early into meme coins. I would have bought Pepe, I would have held it for long, and I would have stayed into this whole ecosystem for way longer, right? But I like all of you remember that after that Pepe, the whole market came down. Bitcoin came to like, I think it came below 20K, and then this BlackRock buying heading started to pop up. Forbes started to, somehow glamorize Bitcoin and all. And then, it is right now at 122K. I ended up investing a lot into Bitcoin. Most of my money that I made from all of these business altogether, I ended up investing a lot into Bitcoin, a lot into Solana, and a lot into some of these RWA coins when they were basically a very new thing and they were not recognized that much at that very moment. But major of the money that I made is from meme coins, and that is just by trading meme coins. That's it. It is not by making content, it is not by selling courses, selling signals. I never really did that. And it is not by basically, you know uh, basically just making a coin or launching a coin or helping people launch a coin. Never really happened that. I just made money trading meme coins. That's it. And especially after Trump's launch, when there was this whole hype, and before a bit before the Trump's launch, this Andrew Tate meme coin. I think he was probably the one of the first celebrities to launch a meme coin on Solana. And then these multiple celebs like Playboy Carti and 6ix9ine, these people were launching meme coins, which were getting this short term huge volatility into meme coins. And as I said that I love volatility, I knew how to trade volatility, and I traded these meme coins. I made a lot of money off of it, and I can literally like continue for another 2 hours, I would say, literally on this topic of meme coins and how I made money off of meme coins. But my heart is still into NFTs, and I think NFTs will come back. I don't know, but I sort of have an emotional attachment with NFTs as well. So I think that NFTs or art has always played a very important role in any revolution, either it's economical or it's just people revolutionizing the way they live or anything. But art has always played a very important role, and my heart always been into these basically NFTs and art. And then this Trump launch and all, I made like a lot of money off of that, and I still can't like thank Allah that much. Like I'm so grateful. Like uh, I don't know that how I can thank Allah, because I don't really know how I made money. That's how simple it is. I don't want to act technical or professional here, because even I don't really know how God took me from basically like nothing to everything. Like I can buy anything I want right now, which is the biggest dream for a 19-year-old like me. And there is a reason that I'm shifting this whole content towards actual information than just one category that was like meme coins, because I think that there is a lot of money making opportunities. And even in I see these US KOLs as well, or these foreign KOLs as well, and they don't really upload, like I'm being very honest here, they don't really upload an actual educational content. They are someone who says that they are not financial advisors, but then they gave you financial advice, and then if that financial advice ends up working, they take credit for it, and if it doesn't ends up working for them or for you, they just say that we are not financial advisors. So technically they are financial advisors, whereas I am a financial educator. I'm a guy who has done businesses, I'm a guy who has faced losses. Like I started a Shopify store, e-commerce. Like I've pretty much done all of these online hustles. I even created some motivational pages so I can promote this and UTate referral, TRW. Like you all know the affiliate link, so I can make a bit of money off of that. But that like ended up flopping in seconds. Same with my e-com store. I ended up making like $200-300, and then it ended up flopping as well. So basically I have experienced most of these businesses and I knew what really happens. I am still a believer of decentralization. I'm not a believer of crypto legalization, or these institutions or these organizations or these hedge funds getting involved into crypto, or some single entity having a centralized control over this ecosystem. I'm pretty much against it. And still there are people saying that you should take investment into Bitcoin and all. Why? Because BlackRock and Vanguard or these hedge funds or these institutions are investing, which doesn't make sense, because crypto is about decentralization. If we are going to give the price action control to a single centralized entity, it will literally destroy the whole ecosystem, and that is something which I think will happen soon. But still there is a lot of money making opportunity on these AI coins, on these RWA coins, on these gaming coins. Like I remembered seeing XC Infinity, SLP tokens, Sandbox tokens, which I could have bought for literally pennies and would have sold it at their all-time highs for literally thousands of dollars. But I didn't like bought them because, as I said, I was never really consistent. I always wanted that shortcut, and to be very honest, I was not that mature enough at the moment. Like at least for me, I was very dumb. So anyways, this is a complete video of my journey into crypto, or how I think I am a close to $1 million. I'm not a millionaire by now in dollars, but I am very close to making $1 million this year, and I hope that I make it. Even if I don't make it, like nothing changes for me. Even 100,000 to 200,000 to $300,000 to $400,000 will be completely enough for me to live my whole life freely. I just want to live freely. I don't want Lamborghinis, I don't want Bugattis, I don't want a big nice home. Like I want a nice home, I don't want a big mansion for absolutely no reason. I want a safe place just to live, and just to live freely, just to eat whatever I want at any time, just to live freely basically. And that is the one of the reasons that, like, well, I didn't shift the countries, my parents did, and then I moved on with them. So the, like that is the major reason that I shifted the country as well. So anyways, this is the only thing. So I hope that you enjoyed this whole crypto journey video. I know that it is probably longer than 30-40 minutes, and it is completely unedited. I never really like posting edited content, and I'm too lazy for that as well. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I would be posting more of this actual information